Today we're going to talk a little bit about what style of lids are on a septic system. I have a perfect example of what you're most commonly going to come across, and I want to show you how do you find these lids, what shape are they, and what do they look like. So let's go ahead and walk over to the tank and take a look. So what we're looking at here is going to be a tank and a distribution box. So that's the distribution box over here. First stop is going to be our tank, which is going to be this little fella right here. This is the front, middle, back. So we've already discussed in the past how you find the edges. You just take a probe, you hit until you stop hitting concrete, and you hit until you stop hitting concrete. In our area, the tanks are almost always going to be rectangular. Obviously, there are some where they could be circular. When you're looking for a lid on a rectangular tank, it's very important to know what direction is it facing and where are the edges, because the lid will always be in the middle. So first thing we do, we probe out, find out where our edges are. That's how I was able to find these lids. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to flag them. So you probe down till you hit the edge, you leave a flag. Go the opposite direction, keep probing till you don't hit concrete anymore, leave another flag. Eventually, with 8 flags, you should have a nice rectangle in your yard. And the best part is if you start towards one end, you find the first lid, finding the rest of the lids are easy. So let's look at what style of lid we've got. First thing we're going to look at is this lid right here. So this is going to be roughly about the size of a paper, so 12 by 12. This is one of the most common style of lids you're going to find on any septic system from the 60s to even the 2010s in our area. Obviously, there are some different ones that can exist, such as large 24-inch circular ones, 2 by 2 square ones, but this is the most common front and back lid that you'll find. So we'll see that it fits right inside of here. And the front baffle is this wall right there. So this lid sits right on top of the inlet line and the outlet line. So this is the inlet, and this is the outlet. You can see the baffle on this one is a little bit more corroded than the other one. So why do you want to have a lid on the front and the back of your tank? Great question. You want to do this because you're going to flush something at some point that you don't want going down your drain. And what can happen is, if you flush grease, feminine products, plastic, cigarette butts, any of those things, it can float. And what'll happen is it'll float on top of that water, and eventually it'll catch all that stuff until eventually you get a clog. At which point, now you've got stuff going back to the home. Having that lid over the front of the tank allows it to where you can, 1, pull whatever it is out of the hole, or 2, send your snake or jetter back to the house, just in case you don't have good access inside the home. If you're going to do this, though, you got to make sure that you're not going too far. Otherwise, that snake could come right up through the toilet, and that's not good. The lid on the outlet side of the tank, same purpose. We shouldn't see any solids, though. As long as that baffle is in place, the outlet side should be just liquid going off into the absorption area. The reason you want to have that lid is because at some point something's going to get stuck, or you might want to inspect the absorption system, maybe the distribution box, maybe your dry well, maybe your drain field. Most commonly, you're not going to find access at the surface for this style of lid. Usually, you're going to have to dig down to it to get to it. Modern systems will usually have a manhole riser front and back, so we can easily deal with pumping and any other maintenance such as jetting, snaking, stuff like that. Modern systems are a little bit different, so we're mostly looking at older systems that you're more commonly going to come across as a home buyer. Now, you might be buying a new home. It's important to make sure you also inspect it as well, but this style of lid, super important that you know where it is, even if you're not buying a house. Now that we've talked about the front and the back, it's important we talk about the middle. Now, this one's a little bit goofy because we have ourselves a little clean out lid in the center. Typically, this is going to be a larger 24-inch ring in the middle. So we already know we got our inlet, outlet, center lid. Almost every system is going to have one in the middle so we can pump all 4 corners of the tank more effectively. Traditionally, you're going to see either a concrete ring or plastic right here. In this portion, it will almost always be a 20 or 24-inch round circular lid. Every now and again, it will also be square. Easiest way to find this is to measure out your back and your front, side to side, start digging dead center. Obviously, large hole, so you want to do about 4 to 5 shovels, 4 to 5 shovels, dig straight down, and then you'll be able to pop that lid right off. So you may be wondering, why on earth do you even have that lid in the middle? Great question. The purpose of that is to clean the tank more effectively. Now, the inlet and the outlet lid, those serve more mechanical purposes, such as if you get something stuck, or if you have to maintenance the pipes, that's how you're going to do it. The lid in the middle, its only job, observation, maintenance such as pumping. You want to make sure that you get to that lid whenever you're pumping the tank, otherwise you're not going to do a very good job of getting rid of the debris. We've covered pumping systems in the past. This is only just kind of what the lids look like or where they're at on your system. I've also done plenty of videos on how to find your septic system, so if you don't know where that is, look at this video over here, and that'll help you figure out exactly what to do. Super important that you have access to your system at grade, so that way not only does it make your septic guy's life easier, it makes it to where you, as the homeowner, are able to see what's going on, 2, is everything working, and 3, did the pumper actually pump out your tank? Believe it or not, some people are actually just going to collect that check, say they pumped it, and not actually suck anything out of your tank. But that's a story for another time. Hopefully you found this one interesting. Hopefully you found this easy to understand. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know. What kind of access do you have on your septic system? I look forward to reading those in the comments. Till next time, guys.